Good evening. This is my attempt to clear the Fallen Temple for the first time on my first Diablo 4 hardcore character. She's a sorceress, with a Hydra build, which is my favorite thing to play at the moment, as far as like ease of play and how powerful it is for basically just clicking one button. That's all you do, most of the time. The only time I ever click any other button would be to pop ice armor, you know, if I feel like I need some help. I rarely have ever hit flame shield. I do teleport around from time to time, just because I'm tired of, you know, running so slowly. And I almost never hit inferno. Almost never. I can think maybe 3 times since I've been, you know, since I unlocked that skill. But she should be okay. I've done this at level 45. I only died once to my own stupidity. That was on softcore. It's a level 70 dungeon. You can do it much lower than this. Her armor is capped. Her resistances are capped. She's got really good life on everything. She has incredible self-healing through her warmth passive right here, 6 points. So she can basically heal back up to full on a boss in 4 seconds. That's, you know, if she takes a hit, I could pop a shield, she'll be right back up in 4 seconds. Or if I'm just killing a whole group of enemies, 6% of my health every second for every enemy. It's amazing. Just, I almost never use a potion. It's just great build. So fun to play. Supposedly, it works really well in the end game, but you need the right gear, and basically everything has to line up, including getting the Fractured Winter Glass, which I do have, but not on, well, I guess I do have a hardcore version. Got out of one of the seasonal caches. But this should be pretty... I've done this so many times lately on various characters. I sort of have a pattern all set up. I would be shocked if I died. Now, if I'm going to try to never hit barrier and just rely completely, unless I get the butcher, unless something really terrible happens. I just want you to see the capabilities of the self-healing. Kills very quickly because of a couple things that I have going. Turn the game sound down so it doesn't pick up so much. Actually, let me turn the game audio down a little bit, because I'm looking at the meters and the game audio is still a bit loud. Let's bring that down a little bit more. Sorry if you couldn't hear me through any of that. So a couple things that are making this work really well is, let's see here. This one, Inevitable Fate. When an enemy falls below 35% life with a dot, an explosion occurs. So if this is on the boss, it'll just keep exploding and kill all the enemies around. Otherwise, as enemies drop below 35%, they just explode and kill everything around them. And that works really well with Firestarter, which when I first hit an enemy, it does an additional huge amount of damage to them, which usually one-shots most enemies. Not elites, but most enemies. And then I also do a lot more damage using Engulfing Flames. And this really helps with, like, with the boss. When it gets below 50%, it starts to really melt fast, which is nice. And the rest of it, I think, is just defensives. So armor and reduced damage from crowd-controlled enemies and everything here. Most things, unless they're immune to crowd control, unless they're immune to chill. Why am I stuttering? My frame rate's dropping for some reason within the game. It's not a good sign. Oh, it's because I'm holding down the foot pedal. Right now I'm just holding down my casting button. I'm gonna hit barrier just so I can get more mana. That doesn't really do much. The ice barrier is set to give me mana, so I was gonna try that, but that wasn't working very well. That's just to speed up, just to hurry through. But yeah, I'm just holding down the B button on my controller, which is really fun to play with. This build is very controller friendly, as opposed to my lightning spear build on my main in softcore, which is not controller friendly. Now, I've never seen the Butcher in this dungeon. I don't know if he can spawn. If he does, I think I'm okay. I have 2 shields. I have lots of self-healing. I can always evade out. I don't think he can be CC'd. Or feared, or whatever it is that's a CC. I think he's immune to all forms of crowd control. He seems to be. But I think that'll be alright. I'm on a Windows PC here, so normally I would use the keyboard. But the controller is just so much more fun to use, so much more relaxed. I mean, I use it only when playing this build and only when not in town. If I go into town, I'll use the keyboard and the mouse because it's just easier. Alright, now the moment of truth. Now we start to get to the hard part. Especially the last boss. Now what killed me before were those little exploding vile creatures. A couple of them, I think a pack of them ran up to me and I wasn't paying attention to what they were doing, and they just exploded right on me before the hydras could explode them or burn them. So I need to watch out for those vile fiends and move away if they run up to me with their exploding head tops. They're orange with a giant round puffy head. There they are, right there. See those guys? That's it, vile lunatics. I don't know if it was... I don't know how many there were that exploded on me. Could have been just one, because I was level 45, very underleveled. But I was also very much in a hurry. I was just running through, not being very careful, because it's just softcore. And I probably didn't have very much life, too. Now I have a lot of life. I have life on every piece that can be given life as a stat. saw them. Those wild lunatics. The red circles will fear you. I want to be on those if I can help it. Not that it's too terrible, because I would still get set field from the hydras as I was being chased off or running around with my head chopped off. There's some right there. Could have popped a barrier, but I want to try it out too. Now my softcore build doesn't use defensive skills like the ice barrier and the flame shield, because I have an enchant on my two-handed staff that gives me an 80% bonus multiplicative to damage if I don't have any defensive skills on my bars or on my bar. Now it's tempting to do that here, but first of all, I don't have the skills, so it's not dropped yet for me for the enchant or effects or whatever. Legendary effect. I haven't seen it, so I can't put it on a weapon or any other thing. And I kind of want to keep the big bubbles. Because before, what I would do is I would put on what I call baby bubbles, which are this passive right here, protection. Using a cooldown grants 30% of my life as a barrier, and I would slot ice blades and lightning spear, just 1 point each, just to throw that on the bar. And if I felt like I was in trouble, I would just pop one of those and then pop the other one in quick succession if I thought the self-healing wasn't going to hold me for the moment. That can buy me a couple seconds of time. Okay, now here we go. May have to pop a shield here. Well, she does fire damage. Okay, she didn't have that much. That got me down a little bit, but Hydras healed me back up. And there we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. I don't want to be here. Ah, this map is so confusing. Areas need to be different colors. Like vastly different colors. The desert area should be like a light tan like the rest of the map is. Fractured peaks should be like bluish white for snow. The swampy areas should be like a green. Or maybe a putrid brown. And that's it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a test, several test runs. Let me see if anything's good here. Through the seasonal dungeons. And that's actually really good. Because I like the extra life, I like the armor, the movement speed. I'm way over capped in armor. But I want to have the ability to swap out a piece with armor on it if I need to. Like if I get a vastly superior pair of pants that doesn't have armor, well, I've got it covered here. Or if I want to put something other than Juggernaut on my helm, if something fantastic drops, I'm like, oh, I want that instead. I just want the options. So this... Nope. Now I'm going to vend all this other stuff because I need the gold more than I need the materials. Oh, first red one. And it's a silly one. But I don't need it anymore.
Anything breaks, the forge is hot.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, we want speed. first shot. All right, now we had... Ah, yes. Slaughter. I don't care about the FX that was on there. I want this one. Let's see if I can do this without Juggernaut now. If I put Disobedience. Oh, I'm already at 85%, so I don't even need Disobedience. What else can I put on there? I already have that. Okay, which ones don't have the yield sign? A barrier is not the worst thing. That would be... Oh, that might be nice against the Butcher. It's only about half of my life, though. That could be useful. Immunity. 2% is very low. "90-second bubble" is terrible. The Unstoppable is nice, but I almost never have to cast that. I'm almost never in a situation where something is putting me in a uncontrolled state. Now this is not bad, although it's too low to matter. 2%, I might be tempted. A stun, maybe. Again, I'm not really in a situation where I'm stuck anywhere. I almost never use my ultimate. I never use basic skills. Wow, that's really hard. I think a defensive of some kind. Maybe a bubble. Yeah. That might be useful. And that should be good. Let's, do I have time to run one of those? Maybe. Let's see. And I forgot to use my life potion, didn't I? Silly me. Alright, so let's run. Are any of them on the... There we go. 24 minutes. That works. Be nice to knock out the Tree of Whispers while I do it. Now the reason I'm going to tier 4 now, I was going to wait until I was at least 70 because I didn't have very many Paragon points when I started out. I had like none when I see damage is not really an issue. Boy, nice. Why did it need to? Did it do a shit ton of damage? I'm liking that bubble. That little charity bubble it throws on me. I mean, if I can manage to get, the extra 2 Hydras, because right now I can only cast 6 heads at once. If I can get the 8-head version while doing this, I wouldn't mind even dying. Well, that barrier comes up a lot, doesn't it? It's impressive. I wasn't expecting to see it though. I guess time passes quickly when you're in intense fights that could kill you and delete your character. Yeah. I don't care if they're unstoppable. Got an extraordinary amount of self-healing. Charity bubble. Vile lunatics. They would be very ouchy right now, I think. Although not when the bubble's there. I haven't had to pop my own shields yet, which is good. I'm trying to be mindful of the need for them. I guess I need to clear this, don't I? I probably should have picked the other one that has the masses as opposed to the fiends, because this one's a little bit scarier. But my life is good. 6801 is really good for this level. It's normally what you'd see. 75 or 80 even. Good. He exploded on me and did nothing to the barrier. That's nice. Come on guys, explode on me. And the self-healing. I have a lot of life. That's probably gonna be the reason not a lot of stuff is getting through. Healing through all. Thank you, Hydras. You're my best friends. I dub you. I dub you so much. Yoink. Pick those up? Yeah, I guess it did. Okay, 13, so we're at the end. I'm gonna pick the safe option, not the more daring 50% extra damage option. So I'm gonna be a wimp and choose this one because I don't want her to be super powerful. Because I'm not ready for that yet. This I think will be fun. And try not to hit my own bubble. That's the cherry bubble. Not bad. Not bad at all. could still choose 5 of these, or 3 of these. Although I'm disappointed I'm not getting any, there we go. A wand. Alright, not bad at all. Now I'm gonna stop this, and I'm gonna go sort that, and maybe upgrade some things if they have good life. And,